Welcome to Do You Wanna Dance with Sophia in Sapphire. Learn how simple it is to go from wallflower dreamer to confident center of the stage dancer. Whether it's the first dance as husband and wife or another option for date night, we'll help you go from nerdy to flirty, jump-starting your dancing journey and transforming your experience into a personal expression of what makes you, you. And now, your host for Do You Wanna Dance, Sophia in Sapphire.
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you are listening live on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Now, this show is about inspiring you, helping you get out there, jump-starting your dancing journey to make the most out of your planning for your special day, whether it's a wedding or another event. We have tips, tricks, valuable insight on the fascinating world of dance as a beginner or husband and wife for that first dance in front of everyone. We'll help make the intangible tangible, making it easy. Okay, so the primary goal here is to have fun, de-stress, and have a good time. That being said, I'd like to introduce my co-hosts for today. We've got Magic Al Jensen over there.
Hi there, Miss Sophia. How are you today?
Really good. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Thanks for having me in again.
Thank you for being here. And we have a new co-host today, Gabriel Ortiz.
Gabriel Ortiz. I wish we had a sound effect like drum roll or applause or something like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hola, Sophia.
How are you doing over there?
Oh, great. How are you doing?
Really good.
Wait, didn't we see him? Wasn't he like on the show last week? Didn't we have him as a guest?
Yes, Gabriel was our guest last week, and he had actually really interesting information about how making weddings a theatrical event and making it more exciting doing theater.
Making it a work of art.
Yeah.
Bringing theater to the wedding reception.
Yeah, which is actually goes hand in hand with dance too, huh?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it absolutely does.
So, you know, we did have an eventful week last week. We had a field trip.
You had to rush out of the studio from the
That's
from the
right.
Do You Want to Dance, and you had to rush over to the South Point because you had field trip day,
Yeah.
and you were doing the hustle, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. So last month we were learning the hustle at the Ritz on Mondays, and that series was over, and we all took a field trip to South Point, which was really cool because on Wednesday nights they have a live band there that plays swing music and hustle music. And we all had good fun. There were tons of dancers. It was like out of a movie. I've never seen so many people partner dance.
Well, that's what your dance experience is all about, is learning to dance in the real world, not just in the studio, not just, behind closed doors, but out there in the real world. When you have a real dance band, a swing band that plays salsa and plays cha-cha and plays the hustle and all these kind of things.
Yeah, and the tricky thing is, though, it's hard to get into it, right? If you're new and you don't know where to go, it's hard to discover that these places actually exist. So But
that's why we know you.
That's what I mean. I do recommend you get to know me a little better.
Yes. And Gabriel, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Not at all.
No, you get to know Sophia, and you get to know the places to go. And that is a good thing because you have this city dialed in. You know where to go for various types of dance and things of that nature. So you are the person to know.
Yeah, so I got a question for you guys, actually.
Okay.
Really?
Well, so when you dance in front of the mirror...
Will we be graded on this?
Wait, did you say dance in front of the
Yeah,
mirror?
I said when you dance in front of the mirror...
Every Wednesdays. Go on.
Are you impressed?
Always. Yeah. Come on. What are you talking about?
Do I have to answer this?
Well, because I actually posted this on Facebook. I said, hey guys, dance in front of the mirror. If you're not impressed, chances are your date won't be either. So come out and learn to dance with me.
Nice.
Okay. You were talking to me, weren't you?
No,
Because
no.
I am not impressed when I dance in front of the mirror.
Well, but the thing is, so this month is a great month to come out and dance because we are learning salsa.
Salsa.
Salsa is awesome, and there are amazing, great reasons to learn salsa, which I'm sure you guys know.
If nothing else, other than just to say, I can dance the salsa.
For real, just to say
I like to
salsa
say, I
on a
like to
regular
dance
basis.
the salsa.
Well,
it's how I courted my wife. I'm not gonna lie. She saw us. She saw me dancing and joined on, and yeah.
Is this true?
Game over. Oh yeah. Yep.
She saw you dance the salsa?
Well, she saw me dance with her. Like we were pretty close quarters.
So
I
you
asked
had
her
like
to
a mirror?
dance.
Had a mirror?
No. I asked her to dance.
Okay.
She danced with me. Was impressed by a guy who actually knows how to dance.
Really?
And
you got points.
Yes.
You kept your hands to yourself?
Yeah. Well, it's salsa. You can't really keep your hands to yourself.
Where you're supposed to keep them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. At least for the first hour and a half.
So, yeah, well, Gabriel. So let's talk a little bit about that. So if you're on the fence, whether or not to learn salsa, first and foremost, it's a fun hobby. Dancing is fun. It's a de-stress sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It bonds couples together, like I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
You cannot think about the problems at the office, or you can't think about, disciplining the kids when you're dancing the salsa. It's just impossible.
it's true. And while at it, exercise. Who likes to exercise?
Yeah.
But if it's fun, if it's fun, yeah.
It's not exercise anymore. You're just having fun.
Yeah. And also, I guess confidence. I think one of those things, why are girls impressed by guys that could dance? It's that confidence. They just take them out onto the dance floor and they're like, let me just twirl you around.
Yeah, well, it's the majority of guys really can't, no offense to person company.
You're looking right at me when you say this, so I know who you're talking to.
But it does, yes, narrow the field quite a bit, when you actually have a skill that others around you might not.
Right, and it helps you, for that reason, meet new people.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe participate in the huge nightlife out here in Vegas, and also all over the States. Some of the biggest hubs for salsa dancing nightlife are, San Francisco, New York. There is a salsa scene here too. And that is one of the reasons why I love salsa so much, is because you can actually go out and dance it in the real world. Whereas some of the other dances, I don't know, I've never tried it. What music is it? It's hard to tell. But salsa is very easy to tell the beat. It's very Latin, quick movements.
Like the Paso Roble. I mean, where are you going to go to dance that? Really.
It's beautiful, right?
Well, yeah,
but it's not social.
You got to go to the Dancing with the Stars, show to do that.
How do you know about Paso,
I don't
Al?
know. I know nothing. I know
Maybe
nothing.
we should put on a Paso routine.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess, the last thing I could think about for why you want to learn how to salsa dance is the shoes. Now, wouldn't you?
Shoes.
Al, that was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
why
that's
I wanted
the
to learn
first
salsa.
thing that doesn't come to mind.
That's why I learned the salsa, actually.
Now, do you need special shoes to do the salsa, or are these like universal shoes that can be used to dance?
You want dance shoes, and I'll tell you why. You want shoes with a suede bottom.
Suede.
Because if it doesn't have a suede bottom, if it's rubber, if it's leather actually okay, but the suede, you get to move rather quickly. You do not hurt your joints at all. No stress on knees or ankles. And that fast precision and that sharpness in those cool cat moves.
So it gives you enough traction.
Yeah.
Without...
It grips the floor, but you can...
Does it help with spins at all?
Yes, spins, swiveling, pivoting, and...
dips. I like dips.
Oh, yeah. Ow. Dancing shoes are for you.
All right.
So, speaking of which,
Do they make them in 12 double wide?
For you, yes. I will special order. I know just the guy. All right. So, I have to say, shoes are a really important part of who we are. Not just for dancing, but if it weren't for shoes, we wouldn't be mobile, or we wouldn't walk or dance or, be as nimble as we are on our feet. And when you think about it, like for the wedding day, especially, the elegance of the bride, it extends beyond her silhouette. It's expressed in the way she moves, like what is holding her.
Now, with that, just real quick, for anyone who's listening, how far in advance would you suggest a bride buy her dancing shoes prior to the wedding?
Oh, good question. Well, hopefully when she starts her dancing lessons, which is a few months out.
Okay.
Hopefully not last minute.
Yeah.
But good question. And, planning is always a good idea. But because of the suede shoes, it doesn't take as long to break them in as regular stiff, clumsy shoe. A lot of times people don't give credit to themselves as dancers, beginner ones, because they just feel clunky in their very clumsy shoes. But it really depends on the shoe.
Now, here's something that I have never ever thought about until this very moment. And that is, you're telling me that the bride has a pair of shoes that she wears for the ceremony. And then sometime between the ceremony and the reception, I mean, she's probably going to take those heels off and just walk, in sandals or barefoot probably. And then she's going to have a different set of shoes for the reception. Is that right? Specifically or primarily to deal with dancing?
That's what my wife did.
I would strongly recommend this. To get a good pair of dancing shoes is an investment. For the rest of your life, you could take those shoes to other weddings, to other events. I take them to restaurants. I take my shoes to clubs. Wherever I'm dancing, it makes you feel more of a beautiful dancer. You enjoy movement and special events so much more when you feel like you're nimble on your feet, Now,
where would you go to get dancing shoes like this?
Okay, so guys, I have to tell you my favorite dancing shoes.
That's what we're looking for. Don't keep us on the edge of our seats any longer. We want to know what your favorite dancing shoes are and where you go to get them.
Okay, so the perfect dance shoe, to find one is critical. There's nothing more important than being comfortable and to feel like you could work through your feet. I only dance in AIDA shoes. And I love AIDA shoes. They are Russian shoes. They come from Russia.
Shoes?
Yeah, AIDA.
Really?
AIDA.
AIDA.
From Russia. They are handmade and hard to find in the States. Okay? But it has superior quality. If you a dancing shoe, I would recommend this shoe. And I actually will be posting on Facebook some information how to get these AIDA shoes in the U.S.
Really? So are they like special order through the factory, or do they have retailers?
Yeah, well, for the longest time, you had to actually order them from Russia, which was a pain.
Especially for those who don't know Russian.
Right. Well, and now there's an option. There is a vendor in New York. He deals AIDA shoes, and I would strongly recommend, if any of you do need dance shoes, tell them that Sophia and Sapphire sent you, and do try out AIDA.
Awesome, but you have to tell me how to say that in Russian, just so I can make it more authentic when I call them. So, because I'm a budget-conscious kind of guy,
yeah.
What are we looking at price point when it comes to?
Are we gonna have to take out a second mortgage, or?
Well, it depends on how big your house is.
I thought you were asking how big my shoes were going to be. 12 extra wide. Okay, that's what I have to have.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's the deal. You can get cheap dance shoes for $50. They are going to be very painful.
I don't want cheap dance shoes. I want AIDA shoes. What?
AIDA.
How much is an entry-level pair of AIDA shoes?
I think you're looking around $150.
Well, that's
not bad. Yeah.
No.
The way you were holding back,
I was thinking it was going to be like
$600.
Like
Okay.
But Gabriel, mind you, this is before you stone them with Swarovski crystals.
So now we have to we have to decorate them, huh?
The bling.
Okay.
That's
all right.
right.
No, not for the guys, but that's for the girls. And the reason I bring that up is because I just recently stoned my shoes with crystals.
Okay.
And that's because
stoned your shoes or blinged your shoes?
Both.
Both. You blinged them with stones.
Yes.
With Swarovski
crystals.
Wow, that sounds expensive.
It is, but every little bit counts, especially when you're competing.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
So, and I'm actually competing this weekend in San Francisco.
Oh,
awesome!
At the San Francisco Open. It's at the Marriott in Burlingame. So if you're in California, Bay Area, do check it out. I'll be there with Eddie competing in pro rhythm.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Good.
Well, break a leg.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the sense of good luck, of course.
Thank you, Al. And thank you, Gabe. But I invite you guys to come check it out sometime, because it's what you see in the movies. It's the real thing.
Beautiful.
All right, this is real life.
It is real life. All right, you're listening to Vegas All Night Radio. We're taking off to our first commercial break.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
Do You Want to Dance is brought to you by Sophia in Sapphire. Experience the bliss of dance, whether preparing for the first dance of the rest of your life as husband and wife, or gaining the confidence to enjoy the dance floor on date night. Sophia and her team of dance specialists will help you feel alive, reconnected, and invigorated through all types of dances. From beginners to advanced students, Sophia will help you experience the therapeutic, medicinal, and transformative benefits of dance. Get on the dance floor. Get in a game. Go from nerdy to flirty with Sophia in Sapphire. Listen to Do You Want to Dance Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNet Radio. And check out SophiaInSapphire.com for more information. Or give Sophia a call at 702-907-7002. That's SophiaInSapphire.com. And the Do You Want to Dance radio show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNetRadio.com.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me at 6 p.m. each Monday night in April to learn the salsa at the Ritz, located at 3360 East Flamingo Road, for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. For more information, please visit SophiaInSapphire.com.
Planning a wedding? Want a spectacular, one-of-a-kind reception party experience? All Events Production is ready to make your event a unique production. From DJ and music to photo booth and even lighting, they will keep your guests engaged and entertained from beginning to end. Your wedding is transformed into a truly wow event. From live broadcasting for those who can't be there in person, to live texting, dancing in the clouds, snow, and all sorts of special effects. Your special day will truly be one of a kind. Contact All Events Production at 702-348-6641 or visit them online at alleventsproduction.com. That's 702-348-6641 or alleventsproduction.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. This is Sophia, and my co-host today, who I'll be asking in a couple seconds about their first dance experience. Because we do have a new co-host today. His name is Gabriel, and he did have a first dance. And we don't know too much about him, aside from the fact that he does plan weddings. But we do want to hear a little bit about your experience with the first dance.
Well, we danced to the song The Luckiest by Ben Folds 5. Actually,
Ooh.
Ben Folds. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you're not, go Google it. Beautiful song, right? It's just a slow song. We didn't do anything really choreographed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right before she came out, she did change out of her wedding dress into her dancing dress. Yes, not just dancing shoes, the whole dancing dress.
Oh, really?
Escorted her out to the dance floor and just kind of had our moment. So we weren't thinking 1, 2, 3. We were just there together. We saved the fun choreographed stuff for later on in the night.
Oh, very nice. But you already did have the moves, let's just say.
Yes, yeah. We do a little something.
How cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's give a chance to our other co-host here, Magic Al Jensen. Give us a little story.
Will my blush show on the air? That's what I want to know.
Do you have an experience with the first dance?
I can't really point back to a quote-unquote first dance experience, but I can recall back to my days as a mature teenager. And I had the opportunity to meet a good friend who became a good friend who was actually a dance instructor. And this was back in the disco era in the 1970s when disco was king and Saturday Night Fever was the big movie and all those various disco dance moves. And I was not really an interested dancer, but he taught me enough dance moves to feel confident on the dance floor. So I had no qualms whatsoever about asking any girl to dance at any point in time. And I remember going back to my high school the year after I graduated and went there as a single, and I was so, can I use the word cocky on the air?
Yeah.
I was so cocky. I asked the lead singer from the band who was playing the music, I grabbed her hand, took her off of the stage where she was performing, and danced, I don't know, 5, 7, 9, 10, it seemed like forever with her. And it was kind of like that John Travolta scene in Saturday Night Fever, when everybody kind of backed up and made space for us to dance. And that was my first dance, my cool dance experience.
Nice.
Wow. So you would say you did build some confidence because you learned some moves.
Oh, yes. When I learned those moves and I had the confidence not only to ask a pretty girl to dance, but to do it in front of others, it was a life-altering experience.
How cool.
It was the greatest.
Thanks for sharing, Al.
You're welcome.
All right. So it's come to that part of the show where we introduce our guest.
Yes, special
All right.
guest.
So our guest is Kymberli Smith. She is from Flawless Ceremonies and actually is acquainted with Gabe quite well. Welcome to the show, Kymberli.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad to have you on.
Thank you for inviting me.
I was checking your website out, and it looks like you are a Las Vegas favorite. So
You've won lots of awards. I mean, you are really a favorite.
That's what it looks like.
I try.
Yeah. So, but we'll talk about that in a second. But since we're going around the table here asking about the first dance, why don't you chime in and tell us a little more about maybe your first dance experience?
All right. Well, my first dance for my wedding, my husband and I, we had 2 weddings actually, and our second wedding was in Maui. And at the end of the ceremony, all of a sudden, we heard a violin. This man walked out of the country club and just started playing the violin. So our first dance was very spur of the moment. We weren't expecting it at all. There wasn't any plan there, but it was so romantic, and everything kind of disappeared, and it was just us and the violin and nobody around us. It was really sweet.
Wow. Yeah, that moment after a day of ceremony.
I mean, it was a complete surprise for us. We weren't even supposed to get married on the golf course. We were actually getting married on the beach. It was just the 2 of us, the minister and our planner. And we were getting married on the beach, and the rain came pouring down. So we ended up moving to a golf course so that we could be under a canopy. So even having the violinist there was a complete surprise.
So where did the violinist come from?
He came from inside of the building. He was there for a bigger wedding that was going to be happening there later in the evening.
Really? So it's not like you just heard music. I mean, there actually was music.
Actually, yeah. He came out. He started playing. I believe it was Canon in D, and it was perfect.
Nice.
All right. And I do believe you were mentioning you have another story, a funny one.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to hear that one.
Well, when you first started talking about the first dance, I immediately went to, is this like the first dance I ever danced with a boy? So I started racking my brain trying to figure out the first time I danced with a boy. And then I remembered it was actually around, I think I was 8 years old. I'm 7 years younger than my sister, so my sister had to drag me to all of her teenage things that she did, and we went to a church function for her youth group. So here we are in the basement of the church. They're having their dance, and this other little boy comes up to me. I want to say he was probably 6 or 7, and he wraps his hands around my waist, me not knowing a lick about what to do to dance with a boy, wrapped my hands around his waist, too. Which is not the way that it works.
That's
You're
right.
supposed to wrap your arms around his
shoulders.
neck. Yeah. So it was completely embarrassing. Somebody came over and moved my hands to the right place. My face was red. My ears were pink. And good times.
Is there a picture?
Probably. I don't want to see it. I'm good. I'm good.
It's on Facebook someplace. I'm sure of that.
How cool. Thanks for sharing. So tell us a little bit about your story. How did you become an officiant, and why is it that you love what you do?
Well, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago now, 2 very, very good friends of mine were getting married, and they had made me their best chick.
Wait, best chick?
Best chick. They didn't want to call me the maid of honor, and I couldn't be the best man as well. So I was the best chick. I was there for both of them.
All right.
And they tasked me with the job of finding the officiant. So, but they also made the mistake of telling me that wouldn't it be cool if somebody we know and love could marry us? So behind their backs, I went and I got ordained, and I got my certificate through the state to solemnize marriages. And on wedding day, we're standing there. They're freaking out. The officiant's not there. I'm laughing on the inside, so I let it go a little while. 15 minutes go by, the officiant's still not there, and then I pulled out my book and started marrying them. And the looks on their face was absolutely priceless. It's a memory that I will never let go of. But from there, I got referred to a friend, and then a friend of a friend, and then I just kept getting referred out. And I decided that this was something I really enjoyed doing, even though I don't make a lot of money doing it. I'd rather be happy in what I do than rich and miserable. So I left the full-time job and the tons of money that I was making, but I get to be passionate about what I do, love what I do, and spend the extra time with my family.
That's so cool. So what is it about bringing two people together? Like, what is it in words, that specialness that you help bring together and make happen?
And that's exactly what it is. It's the specialness of it. Like, from the moment of meeting the couple to signing the contract to being there on their wedding day, I get to say that they chose me out of all of the officiants, out of all of the ministers, the chapels, the venues, and now the notary publics in Las Vegas that can take this job today. They chose to make me a part of their forever memory. So it means a whole lot to me. And sometimes I get a little separation anxiety on wedding day, I guess you could say, because this is the last time I'm going to hug them. So I try and keep in touch with a lot of my couples. I send out happy anniversary cards. I always say happy anniversary hello on Facebook.
Good for you.
Yeah, so it's special to me.
So being in Vegas, do you have a lot of, last minutes, or are they from out of town, or are they planning for you in months in advance?
It varies, all of the above. Most of the couples that I deal with are destination couples, and that goes without saying. Las Vegas is the #1 wedding destination capital of the world. So most of the couples I work with are not from here. So I do everything in my power to help them, get all of the little things that they need, because it's much easier to deal with one person than a whole bunch of different vendors.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, I know, what I was asking you earlier about, being an expert in this field, having these intimate relationships, separation anxiety. You probably get to know these couples on a closer level, and being an expert in the field, what would you say, like, what are some of your tips? Like, what words of wisdom do you have for some of our brides out there?
One of the most important things for my particular position, being the officiant, is a lot of couples don't think about the officiant right away. But what they have to remember is that you want to make sure your officiant, or the person that's standing with you at the altar, completely meshes with you and your personalities, because they're representing your love story, the most important part of your wedding. And a lot of times they think, I'm getting married, the officiant's just going to be there, and that's not always the case. So looking for your officiant earlier than later is very important.
Yeah, I could so relate, because, teaching dance, the same thing. I mean, people have the choice to work with whoever they like. And I do get sometimes those calls where they're like, we worked with a teacher and it didn't go so well. You know, our personalities didn't match. And sometimes it's not necessarily, you don't have to be best friends, but the fact that you can relate to each other or understand the needs of each other, the approach really matters in that first click. So I actually do also have separation anxiety, because I see my couples for a while, throughout a few months or a few weeks. And sometimes I don't even get to see the product, you know, which is like, oh, man, shucks. But the fact that I was part of this memorable process, and it lasts forever, just like what you do. I mean, a commitment is forever. You know, learning to dance, once you know how to do some moves, that's also, can last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
But, absolutely. I don't know. What do you think out there, Al?
If I were going to get married again, and I'm not sure that I'm going to, but I know that Kymberli would certainly be at the top of my list, because she has so many awards and so many professional recommendations. I mean, I'm a part of the Convention Services Association here in Las Vegas, which deals with those conventions that come and go. And I mean, everybody knows Kymberli, and she has a great reputation, and that's what I would want.
Yay.
Although, don't take this the wrong way.
I'm glad to hear they stopped talking bad about me.
No,
I'm
we've
just
never
kidding.
talked bad about it. But don't take this the wrong way. But I hope I never have to call you to work for me in that capacity. You know what I mean?
You can pay me anyway.
But if I did, okay. But if I did, you would be the one. You would be the one.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for that. We'll be back in a flash, so stay tuned on the Do You Want to Dance radio show.
Everyone in the studio is taking a quick dance break. We'll be back after these brief commercial announcements.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
Are you looking for an all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue? One with all the services to plan your perfect wedding. If so, you're looking for the Ritz of Las Vegas, family-owned and operated for more than 10 years. In addition to traditional events, the Ritz specializes in theme weddings from 1920s, glam goth, Star Wars, Harry Potter, masquerade, burlesque, or vintage Hollywood, just to name a few. Whatever your vision, the Ritz makes it a reality. For more information on the finest all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue in Las Vegas, contact the Ritz of Las Vegas at 702-336-3626 or visit them at theritzoflasvegas.com. That's 702-336-3626 or theritzoflasvegas.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Harris from Las Vegas. I want you to know about my experience with Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire. I signed up for her 10-lesson dance challenge to gain confidence, to learn the skills, to look like I knew what I was doing. Sophia made learning how to dance fun and easy. It turned out that by the end of the challenge, I wanted more, so I continued on with more lessons. Since then, I've gained enough confidence to go out into the social scene and even ask strangers to dance. I've made new friends and feel good about myself. The challenge paid off. I finally became a babe magnet. Because after all, everyone knows girls like a guy who can dance. Thanks, Sophia.
Are you funny? Do you want to be funnier? Want more laughs from your speech, business presentation, or act? I'm Big Magic Al Jensen, and in addition to being a radio show host, I perform my comedy magic act on stages across Las Vegas and cruise ships around the world. I've consulted and coached humorous speech contest winners, stage performers, and business professionals who want to bring more humor to their conversations and presentations. I can do the same for you with my program, Funny Just Got Easier. One-on-one coaching, group classes, and workshops are available. Whether you want to be funnier in front of an audience or just in conversation, Funny Just Got Easier is the simple and quick way to kick up your humor. Check out funnyjustgoteasier.com for more information on personal coaching and workshop dates. That's funnyjustgoteasier.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. I'm your host, Sophia, and co-hosting today with me are Magic Al and Gabriel over there.
Hey!
And special guest, Kymberli Smith.
Hello.
In the studio.
Wedding officiant extraordinaire.
Yeah. Total favorite.
We have some sound effects, like some fireworks going off and things like that.
Yeah, so we were talking about some interesting things, and also, so we have first dances, and we have first time ever doing something new. And I think you have a story for us, but I'm going to let Gabe here take it away for...
Well, I want to bring up a couple of points that you brought up earlier.
Okay.
One was, so you kind of jumped into this for your friends,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
How much rehearsal did you put in for that first time?
Okay, so for that first ceremony, the very first ceremony, I went way overboard. I bought this, Franklin Covey book, and I printed these pages out, and I laminated them, and it looked all gorgeous, and I practiced reading it 1,000 times, it felt like, and I even recorded myself and listened to it, and had my husband listen to me, and it was, lots of practice.
And has that changed much at all, or what?
Now it has.
Okay.
Now I can almost recite my ceremonies without even looking down. But for the first 6 months of me making this a full-time career, I'm not gonna lie, I had to take shots. I had to do shots.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many?
Wait, take shots or do shots? That's
Right?
that's two different things.
Do shots.
Do shots. Okay, I get that.
So, I had to go to the bar, and it helped whenever I had like hotel ceremonies. I'd just go to the bar beforehand, take a shot, and then go up to the suite and do the ceremony. Yeah, just to calm down.
Nice.
Yes.
Calm the nerves.
Not gonna lie.
So you say people have quite a few options when it comes to getting married here in Vegas. And speaking of which, Vegas, is that all you do is Vegas?
No, actually, I am certified to perform ceremonies in 22 different states.
What?
Whoa, is that a test in every state?
What was that?
Well, how do you get certified in every state?
Well, it really depends. Because I'm not a resident, it's like a temporary certificate that I apply for that particular wedding. But yeah, I'm certified in 22 different states.
And have you done weddings in 22 different states?
Not in all 22, no. But I did just recently perform a wedding off of a cruise, and we took a cruise to Mazatlan, I think. No,
really?
Ensenada. I'm sorry, to Ensenada,
Okay.
and we ported in Santa Barbara, and I actually coordinated the entire wedding from ceremony to reception to string quartet to back on the cruise.
Really? So did you do it on the ship itself or on shore?
We did it at port on the beach was where we had so we got on the beach at 7
So you were
a.m.
legal. You were in California and you were legal. You weren't in like Mexican or international waters.
No,
or
we
anything
were in
like that?
California. And we got to the beach at 7 a.m. I was out there in my sweats setting up the chairs and the altar. And
Now, hold on. That sounds way more than what an officiant would be responsible for.
Right. It totally is.
So you just do that? I mean, tell me a little bit about it.
So what's up with that? I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about me is that I can do just more than just doing performing the ceremony. My husband and I, we had 2 weddings. We did our chapel wedding here in Las Vegas. We were pregnant. And then later on, we did our destination wedding in Maui. And I found it much easier to deal with only one person in Maui rather than going through a whole bunch of different vendors.
That makes
sense. So I had one person that took care of my cake, my flowers, my luau, the beach, the minister, just one person to handle.
Okay.
So that's what I do because I deal with 90% of my couples being destination couples.
Okay.
I try and offer them as many options as I can, handle as many things as I can. So for this particular couple, happened to be another good friend of mine. He asked me to take care of everything so that him and his wife and his family could enjoy their cruise, paid for me and my husband to join them along on the cruise. We had a great vacation. We set up the entire wedding. My husband was my right-hand man out there on the beach setting up the chairs and the flowers and the cakes and everything else. It was perfect.
That's awesome. And so you say you try to set up as much as you can or handle as much as you can. What is that, as much as you can? Like, what do you kind of specialize in when it comes to that side of the business?
I try to do it for, smaller groups. Now, if it happens to be once they say, oh, I have 50 people coming with me or even 25 people coming with me, that's when I'll reach out to my professional friends in the industry. Because some of the best referrals are going to come from other professionals in the industry. So if you need a photographer, ask somebody you've already hired that you trust, and they're definitely going to refer somebody that they would trust to put their name on.
Yes, because their reputation's on the line.
Exactly,
as well.
exactly.
And so tell me, and going back, I think it was like a little bit of a segue. You say there's a lot of options in Vegas on getting married, right? But people end up finding you and liking you.
Right.
Do you know why that is?
I can't pinpoint any one reason, and the reason I say that is because everybody has their own personality, their beliefs, or their wants. So me and my personality may work with the younger couple, or it may work with an older couple that I remind them of, or it really depends on what they're going to look for. That's why I try and tell my couples, whether you choose me or somebody else, make sure that it's somebody that's going to mesh with you and your personality, because that's what's going to be reflected on your big day.
I mean, and just look at her. I mean, she's in studio. How can you not just fall in love with her and want her to be a part of your special day?
Well, we've already worked together in quite a few weddings.
Yes, we have.
And it was funny because we've built this relationship prior to really knowing each other's performance. We just knew each other's business, ethics. And one day, lo and behold, there she is, marrying my couple, and you did excellent. You did a fantastic job. You engaged
too.
Everybody.
I looked up at you and nodded, and you started the music on time. That was perfect.
It's what we do. It's what we do. So what's in store for the future? What do you see?
Hopefully lots
forward.
more couples. I do have some couples from last year that are expecting. So I'd like to give shout outs to all of them. Congratulations on your car seats, guys. But yeah, hopefully a very prosperous year. Just took another award with Wedding Wire, the Couples Choice Award.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
how do you get that? Is that just like you put in and say, hey, vote for me, and you try to gather votes, or how does that?
No, actually, that's the cheater way about it. I personally believe that one right there is based off of how many reviews you get. So it's strictly based off of reviews and people that visit your page and put stars on your page. It's not anything that you ask for or votes for or anything like that.
Okay, so this is just from the couples then?
Yeah,
couples
straight from the couples. I have no control over winning that award.
Awesome.
That award.
That means something.
All right, I understand we have a caller on the air, so let's bring him on.
Oh, well.
Hello, and welcome to the Do You Want to Dance radio show.
Hello.
Who's calling?
This is Ilya. This is Ilya from New York.
Ilya from New York.
Yep.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I'm actually at my dancing studio right now giving out some cookies to children. We feed them after they finish class. We have a system. If they sign in, they get a cookie.
They get a what?
A cookie.
A cookie. Oh,
well,
how
yeah.
cool. So they come to class and they get a cookie?
Yeah, but that's only if they sign in, because it's difficult sometimes to get children to do what you want them to do.
Oh, it's not only children.
Yeah.
How cool. So do you have a story for us to share?
Yeah, of course. I was listening to your program right now, and I wanted to give some feedback on the great wedding story that happened with my sister.
Oh, awesome.
So she decided to get married, and the wedding dance that she did at the dance studio that actually I managed changed her life, because the wedding dance was so amazing that the whole family came, even our relatives from Russia, because it was set up as this huge wedding that everybody had to be there. She was practicing for a couple of months, and then this brought along a great performance, and she actually got interested in dancing. It was just a really nice, full of content wedding, and if the proper wedding dance wasn't practiced properly, then it would have been maybe a boring wedding.
You think it wouldn't have been worth it for all those relatives from Russia to come?
Of course, yeah. Your wedding is supposed to be only once in a lifetime, and if it's done right, memorable. But
How
if it's
cool.
dry and boring, then you just messed up a wedding.
Well, if it's boring, it's still memorable, just not for the right reasons.
Totally, yeah, that's it.
Wow, well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Ilya.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for your
Definitely,
call.
I recommend the wedding dance to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. How cool. Yeah, so everyone has a story there, but the profound meaning, I have to say, probably in the Russian culture, or maybe even in the Asian culture where they're perfectionists, doing something perfectly or near to amazing is quite important for relatives to travel halfway around the world, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Especially, you're right, in those cultures. But I mean, even in our culture, we have a desire to want to do things perfectly, to want to do things flawlessly. And obviously that doesn't happen, right out of the chute. We've talked so many times about the wedding dance and the fact that you've got to get out there and practice. You got to get out there and rehearse. You have to develop some type of muscle memory and understanding of, which foot do I start with, which arm do I go with, and what do I do when I get out there? And if you've got the confidence, then that's what it's all about. It goes back to having confidence, and when we do a good job, then we'll feel great about having our friends and relatives from all over the country being there.
That's right. Thank you for that, Al. All right. I think we're going to break off into our last commercial break of the show. See you back in a flash.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me at 6 p.m. each Monday night in April to learn the salsa at the Ritz, located at 3360 East Flamingo Road, for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. For more information, please visit sophiainsapphire.com.
Tune in Wednesdays at 4 p.m. for Do You Wanna Dance? The show that helps you realize how simple it is to go from wallflower dreamer to confident center of the stage dancer. Whether it's the first dance as husband and wife or another option for date night, Sophia in Sapphire will help jumpstart your dancing journey and transform your experience into a personal expression of what makes you, you.
Tune in Wednesdays at 4 p.m. to Vegas All Net Radio and let me help you go from nerdy to flirty and learn how simple it is to turn your dreams into reality on the Do You Wanna Dance radio show.
Do You Wanna Dance is brought to you by Sophia in Sapphire. Experience the bliss of dance, whether preparing for the first dance of the rest of your life as husband and wife, or gaining the confidence to enjoy the dance floor on date night. Sophia and her team of dance specialists will help you feel alive, reconnected, and invigorated through all types of dances. From beginners to advanced students, Sophia will help you experience the therapeutic, medicinal, and transformative benefits of dance. Get on the dance floor. Get in the game. Go from nerdy to flirty with Sophia in Sapphire. Listen to Do You Wanna Dance Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas All Net Radio. And check out sophiainsapphire.com for more information. Or give Sophia a call at 702-907-7002. That's sophiainsapphire.com. And the Do You Wanna Dance radio show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNetRadio.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, guys. So we're wrapping up here. We have a full studio today. It's kind of crowded in here.
Isn't it exciting, though?
I love it.
Yeah, the energy is good.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are nervous. Some people need shots.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of that. I'll drink to
Even without being nervous, I think you'll take a shot.
No, well, that's against studio rules.
Oh, we shouldn't talk about that then.
No, we should just do it.
Anyways, let's give a chance for Kymberli, our guest today, Kymberli Smith, to talk a little bit, wrap up what you do that's special, and maybe your contact information as well. But Gabe, I'm going to let you take this.
Well, yeah, no, just that. What are some of the things that make you unique? You know, I mean, there's a lot of officiants in town, right? What separates you?
Well, I am a longtime Las Vegas resident. I have the ability to appreciate the unusual. Being here for as long as I have, I believe that every ceremony is unique. And you're unique, and your ceremony shouldn't be like any other. I'm also one of very few wedding officiants in Las Vegas that do commitment ceremonies. I actually made a joke when I was here with Al on his show last year, was that I'm probably the only straight female wedding reverend that you'll meet that has a gay pride tattoo.
I could safely say that, yes, you corner the market.
We'll need to see the paperwork on that. Right. We'll need to see the paperwork on that.
But, yeah, you know, and you can reach me at Flawless Ceremonies, that's pluralized.com, flawlessceremonies.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Rev Kymberli, and also on Twitter at Rev Kymberli as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here with us, Kymberli.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a blast.
Yeah, so Al, what do you think? We've gone over a lot of stories today.
Yes, we have, and I've blushed several times. I'm glad this isn't on film.
You need a personal fan.
Yes, I really do. I really do. I never realized talking about dance could make me, so blushing.
Oh, and you, Gabe? Are you blushing over there?
Dancing's what I do. Come on. I'm Hispanic. It's built in, all right? It's in my bones.
That's right. I dance, but it's something completely different. I usually dance around the issues. That's, That's the way that I dance.
So, well, going back to salsa, because we briefly talked about that in the beginning.
Yeah, I
want
to talk more about salsa.
But I think you just want to say it.
I just love saying salsa. Sorry. Yes.
Well, salsa's hot.
Yes, it is.
And it's really cool because you can actually let go. So something that you're talking about, Al, how you just dance because you dance.
Yeah.
You can also do that with salsa, except it's going to be hot dancing.
Now, what kind of music do we dance the salsa to? Is there anything I would hear on the radio today, or in pop culture, that I might dance the salsa to?
Yeah, they dance. Salsa dance music is played at the Salsa Club, but also on Spanish radio stations. They do.
Okay, now you say the Salsa Club.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where is the Salsa Club? I got to come to the insider. Where is the Salsa Club?
Okay,
is it a place called the Salsa Club?
I'll come out and
There's a
say
special
it, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's one big club in Las Vegas. It's called the Gold Coast. It's a casino, but it has salsa night on Saturdays.
And that's just not a DJ, right? That's a full-on.
That's a
band.
full-on. That's a yes.
Right?
And you're coming with next time.
I'm there.
Full on.
You kidding me?
So I think we are taking our next field trip there to the Gold Coast on a Saturday night. I mean, it could be intimidating because there are a lot of good dancers out there. You got to be coordinated. You got to kind of have some moves, but that's what the meetup is about.
That's what the meetup is for. If I come to the meetup
about.
2 or 3, 4 times, then I'm going to be ready to dance in the real world. I mean, not competitively, but I'll feel comfortable being out on the dance floor.
Well, especially if the crew comes. So all of our friends from the meetup come, and we have each other to dance with, which is pretty reassuring because not just anybody wants to dance with, just anybody at the club, Al.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
You're kidding.
Well, you impress, and then you get a waiting list going.
It's like birds mating. It's you can.
You get a dance card going.
So let me understand the process here. So I need to impress first, and then I've got this dance card with waiting slots on it, and I sign people up.
No, that's me.
Oh, that's okay. So
no,
that's
for you get partners already because I gather everyone together. You've got automatic partners that will dance with you.
Okay,
and I will dance also.
So I don't have to worry about sitting on
right
back in junior high school, sitting in the bleachers waiting for.
Yeah, is that it is a daunting experience. And the thing is, let me give you a little bit background on salsa.
Okay.
So it came from the Caribbean. The music is Caribbean, and it has mixes of African and European dance influences. So it's kind of cool. You can improvise. You can make it your own. And that's why I just love starting beginners off with a salsa. So Monday night at the Ritz, please do join me. So
and what's the cost to join you at the Ritz on Mondays?
It's a complimentary class. I really ask for a love donation to cover costs of the space and things like that. But it really is a community outreach. I want to get Vegas locals involved. Just come out, dance. It's medicinal. It improves relationships. It improves mood. I will give you the drug to happiness.
All right. I love it. I love the sounds of that.
I'll go if Kymberli goes.
Oh. What?
All right, I think that's a yes. Man. I think I have 4 RSVPs here in the studio. All right, guys, thank you so much for being on the show, on the Do You Want to Dance radio show. We'll check you out next week at 4.
Thanks for listening to Do You Wanna Dance? Tune in again next week for more interviews, advice, and insight into how you could go from nerdy to flirty and learn how simple it is to turn your dreams into reality. On the Do You Wanna Dance radio show, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. right here on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Views and opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.